Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to get or I should say apply for a tax abatement of real estate taxes. My name is James Gage with Gage Consulting Group, and you can find us on the web at www.gage.com. Again, that's www.jgage.com. And it varies from state to state, but the majority of states allow individuals that own properties, whether it be residential or investment piece of properties, and even in some cases commercial properties, in the month of January of each new year, to go ahead and apply for an abatement of real estate taxes. And all that means is that you feel that your tax rate is not reflecting what the property is really worth, meaning they're taxing you more than they should. As a real estate investor with over 26 years of experience, when I used to own a lot of investment property, every January I would put in an abatement. And I still do it on my residential property, but I always put in an abatement. And I ask for a reduction of my real estate taxes. And a lot of people say, well, why would you do that, especially in the type of economy we're in right now? They're not going to grant any abatements because they need every penny they can in the local municipalities to go ahead and provide for police, fire, and other services. But I find it exactly the opposite. Let's face it, you're probably not going to get $500-600 off of your tax bill, but it's been my experience that you usually get something. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that you go ahead and put in an abatement and expect you're going to get something off your taxes. I'd be a fool to do so, but this tutorial video is just to show you how to do the process. It doesn't cost you a penny to go ahead and file, and who knows, maybe you will get something off your taxes. So it's better in your pocket than in somebody else's pocket, meaning the government. So this will work in an up economy, down economy, and sideways economy. It really doesn't matter what the economic landscape looks like. This is a right that you have under the law, that you're able to file these abatements. But you can only usually do it in most states in the month of January. So what you would do is, wherever your locale is, I'm going to give you a couple examples in this video. The first place we're going to go to is the city of Worcester, Massachusetts. If I can, I'm just going to put MA instead of spelling it out. There we go. And what you would do is you would click on the site, and here's the city of Worcester. Now, they give you a nice little search box up here, so I would put up here real estate tax abatements and see what I come up with. Here we go. I'm going to scroll down a little bit for you here, and as you can see, I have a link here. So I would click on this link, and it would give me the instructions on what I needed to do to file for a real estate tax abatement. It actually gives you the application here, or the form, to go ahead and click in PDF format to fill out, and it tells you when you can go ahead and file it, and the procedures and the reasons for the abatement that you're going to have to cite. Now, one of them is overvaluation. The other one is disproportionate assessment. The other one is improper classification. And then a statutory exemption if you've just bought a property that's a nonprofit or falls under 501(c) status. So if you would go ahead and read down here, it'd give you every step-by-step thing that you need to know before filing an abatement, and the process on how it'll be either approved or denied, and how you can appeal it if you don't agree with the tax board's decision. So this is one site. Let's check out another one. Why don't we put City of Palm Coast, Florida. We'll click on that. And here's Palm Coast. Now, again, it has another search bar up here, so we would do the same thing as we did earlier. Real estate tax abatements. Okay, now this is a little bit more difficult. This may be something that you might find in your state. It really doesn't have any really any headline here, so you'd have to look in the body of the text that's associated with the link. Florida has no personal income tax, and property taxes are low, making it the per capita. Okay, but it says tax abatement here, incentives. So what we might want to do is we might want to click on that, but I wouldn't, because it has to do with businesses. I would probably come down to this next one here, City of Palm Coast, and it says property tax abatements. Let's click on that for giggles and grins and see what we come up with. Now it's going to open up probably a PDF for me here, because I see down here that it's loading something. So that's probably not what I want. So why am I showing you this? I'm showing this if it's not straightforward like it was in the first site that we went to, the City of Worcester, and you come upon your city or town's website and it really doesn't have anything clear cut as far as real estate abatements, as far as a section on their website, what do you do? Well, what I would do is I would go ahead and contact them and ask to speak to their assessor's office and ask them what the process is for tax abatements to file one. Because every state has it. Don't let anybody say, well, in your particular state, they don't have that kind of mechanism. All 50 states have that mechanism in place. So that's what you want to do, is you want to hit that contact us button. Hopefully it'll come up. Get that phone number. Call that city or town. Usually the clerk's office is a good place to start, and they can direct you to the assessor's office. Or, let me click back here. We could probably put in here assessor's office. Look at that. It doesn't even come up with anything for the assessor's office, does it? Well, it has tax assessor here, but I'm assuming that this is going to be another PDF. So there it is. Okay. So what you would do in this case, of course, and this is not rocket science. I know most of you know how to get around on a website, but this is the number you would call here. Okay. Now, the reason for this video is not to tie you up with a bunch of useless garbage here. Again, I just wanted to show you the two things where, number one, you go to a city such as Worcester, it's straightforward. They provide the form for you online. They give you an explanation. But then you go to a city such as Palm Coast, Florida, where they have no mention of it, and you have to do a little bit more investigatory work. But I want to go back to Worcester real quick just to pull up that form to give you an idea of what most forms look like. And it's pretty straightforward, so don't get worried about, am I going to be able to fill this out without an attorney? You're not going to need an attorney to fill this out. And it's been my experience that most of the clerk's office, they'll be more than happy to go ahead and help you, walk you through the process, if you approach them the correct way. And that's to be respectful and thank them for their time and so forth. Because, I mean, again, that's not what this video is about, but I find a lot of times that real estate investors or people in general, when they approach these governmental offices and services, you have to understand the person on the other side of the counter is probably making a little bit over minimum wage. And they're probably not thrilled to be there, believe it or not. I know some people love their jobs, but most of the people, they're stuck in a rut. They're stuck in that job, that job. So the more user-friendly we can be to them, the better off we're going to be. It's the old analogy of you get more with honey than you do with vinegar, and it's true. So I'm just going to put in here again because nothing came up. Real estate tax abatements. Here we go. I'm going to click on that again, and I'm going to click on the form here. I just want to show you the form real quick. Here's the form. We'll go ahead and size it up a little bit more for you so you can see it. There we go. All right, real straightforward. If it's a real property tax, you go ahead and click there. It's because we're not dealing with personal property tax. We're dealing with a real estate parcel. Next thing that we're going to do, see in here, it's the deadline to file in Worcester, Massachusetts is February 1st. You put your name, or if it's a LLC or a trust, you would put it there. And then you'd fill out the rest of this information here. Property identification would be the bill number, the location, the assessed valuation on your tax bill, the description. All this information can be found on your tax bill. Reasons for abatement sought. Well, let me scoot back up to that. There, I overshot a little bit. Okay, overvaluation, disproportionate assessment, incorrect usage classification, or others. Applicant's opinion of value. So this is what you put down, what you think the property is worth. Now you're going to have to give some kind of backup. You can't just say, well, I think. You're going to have to say this is based on comparables given to me by a realtor, or based on a property evaluation that was done by a broker, or it was actually a formal process done that gives you hard numbers. So again, you want to be as thorough as possible there. You sign, you date it, and that's about it. Then you send it in. This is just for their office use down here. Let me scoot up a little bit here so you can see it better. Right here. This is just for office use. They're going to go ahead and put their numbers in there and sanctions and so forth. And then when the board meets, they're going to go ahead and they're going to review every application that's made to them, and they're either going to give it a yay or an A. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's been my experience that usually you'll get something off, especially if you make a good case on why they should go ahead and lower the tax bill. Now keep in mind, we're in an environment right now where a lot of people are buying short sales and foreclosures in REOs. That doesn't hold any weight with them what you bought the property for. It's what the property is worth. I wish it was for what the property was bought for, but it isn't. And just remember, one of the things that you can use as ammunition in your arsenal is to make them fully aware that, you know what, when there is a short sale or a foreclosure in a neighborhood, that weighs on the values of the houses around them, so it drives everybody's values down. So I would use one of those particular points as some ammunition to put on your application, especially if even if you didn't buy a foreclosure or a short sale, but if there were some in the immediate area, usually in a 1 to 1.5 mile radius, usually will drive the property values down. So hopefully that was of some use to you today. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at coach, COACH, at jgage.com. That's coach@jgage.com. Or you can call me at 508-595-9567. I do answer my own phone. And feel free to come by the website. Again, it's www.jgage.com. Sign up for our free newsletter, and you'll be on our mailing list. So when we do post these video tutorials, you'll be the first to be aware of them. If you are watching this on YouTube, you'll find a link just below the video on the left-hand side. You'll see jgage.com. That's a clickable link. If you click on that, and you'll go right to the site. So with that, this is James Gage signing off, and I look forward to presenting to you another useful video in the near future.